We are only 15 days away from the biggest mania ever, Mania 40. And we are weeks away from the Three Bells podcast biggest weeks. It's me, everyone. It's your homie Shane O'Mac coming to you live from the East New York section of the Three Bells podcast table. I am not here alone, of course. I am always joined by the cool homies, Mr. Mundo, aka Mr. aka Mr. Mundo, Mr. Dez, Mr. Everything. What's going on, man? How are you tonight?
Yeah. It's your boy Mundo. I'm here as always, channeling my inner Stephen A. Smith. I'm happy to be here with you fellas. What's going on, guys? What's up? Triple J.
Yeah, your boy Triple J is now back in your building here on stereo. Guys, salute to y'all. Blessings. Happy Friday. Let's get it.
It's Mundo, and it's the cool guy, Triple J, the homies, with me, Shane O'Mac, saying, let's do it, let's begin, for this is Three Bells, Friday edition. Well, we did not get The Rock tonight. Instead, we got someone else. Funny thing, though, last week, Friday, The Rock was on TV more than Roman. So after tonight, now it's both even at 6. So congratulations, Roman. You're tied with your cousin. Let's see who can beat that tie come next week. Let's see. We got some interesting things to talk about via Smackdown, as well as news clips, and as well as some cool birthdays. But let's do what Smackdown did, and let's just start off with a match. But before we start, I want to give a shout out to everyone that is joining in on our guest section here in the bottom. You know what? Because I like how he welcomes everybody. Mr. Mundo, how about you say hello to all of our visitors that are here already tonight? Des, I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? What's good, Pops? What's good? What the boom? Rick and my guy, my brother-in-law, Ray. What's good? Thank y'all for joining us on the Friday edition of the Three Bells podcast. And fellas, I want to say thank you and what's up to Ron, Jim. You guys, I know y'all are listening right now. So what's up? Yeah.
If I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. When DJ Younger Nut is in the house, you got to give him his full props. He is an old school, international, professional DJ. DJ Young Enough is always good to see you. Younger Nut is always good to see you here to join us at the Three Bells podcast table. That's how you do it, the Mundo.
I don't have that.
That's not my fault. That's not Younger Nut's fault. That's not Jay's fault. You make a way for a man like that. For if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be no Three Bells podcast.
Respect.
What? Okay. But it's good. It's good to see everyone out here tonight. So let's talk. Let's get with the smack. So we had a match. It went straight to the match, but of course there was a little video package to remind us with the history between Mr. Santos and Rey Mysterio, which asked the question, who betrayed who? Santos would say, Rey betrayed me, and Rey would say, you betrayed me. There's a whole bunch of betraying going on, but they had their match finally tonight. And this was the first time we've seen Rey in full action since November with his injury. And according to Nick banned both LWO and Phantasmo for appearing at ringside. Des, I'm going to start with you and Jay to follow on your thoughts on match number 1 for tonight.
I can tell you this much. It was a different vibe from when we watched like Rey Mysterio. Santos versus Carlito. That match seems to drag, but it's nice seeing Rey Mysterio back in the ring after so many months with that broken leg or what have you. But it was kind of shaky. You can tell he hasn't been in the ring in a while because his first 2 attempts at doing rope stuff, he was slipping and sliding, and he almost crashed. He did crash one time, but the second time, Santos covered and made it seem like he was knocking him off the rope. So,
don't you think that should have been a Mania match, though? I thought they were going to build this to be a Mania match. Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio.
Well, there's still plenty of time, in terms of building the story because Ray just came back and he had his first match, which we actually, spoke about today. So maybe this was a way of seeing if he can actually pull off a full match in time for Mania. We still have 15 more days, so there's still plenty of time for them to build more elements in their story, and then they'll just drop us with the okay, this is what's going to happen at Mania. You know what I mean?
No, I was just saying off of what Lawan has said basically about he was saying that there's a good chance since there's really nothing for Ray or for Dom coming up for Mania that might as well just have them in the match, and have one night where it's father versus son and the other night where it's brother versus brother.
Do you see that happening? Do you see Dirty Dom joining in that conversation in that match, while at the same time Judgment Day they have their tag team match also at Mania. So do you think he'll be involved in both, or will he just be involved in this story here? Like, will he join the Santos story with Ray? Do you see that, Jay? And then Mundo, if you're here and if you heard the question.
I I actually do, bro, because the way he was going in on Raw, it didn't seem like he had anything lined up for him, and might as well relive something from the past and go back at your father. The story's never really finished between the two because they got separated by the draft. So, I'm all for it. I do want to see father versus son again. I want to see one more ass beating, one more spanking of the belt, you know?
Dom's a floater. He doesn't have anything in particular to do, as we discussed on Raw this past week. So I wouldn't be surprised if he joins in on this story and then maybe somehow gets Andrade to join in on, as well. Get this
Yes.
all star Latino situation going
Yes.
on. So
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Des, you said it, bro. Des, I've been wanting Santos versus Andrade for a minute now, and if we could get that at Mania, man, I'm gonna be hyped as hell.
Well, yeah. I mean, I, I'm not gonna say I wasn't surprised. I was surprised to see Dom interfere. I mean, it made sense. We actually should have saw that coming when we. I mean, that's the thing. We didn't get it televised. We got it during the day. So if you weren't on Twitter, you didn't see Nick make that announcement about the banning of LWO and the other group, who shall not be named because I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, we should have seen that coming. Should have seen that coming. Shane?
So Jay, you saying how much you would like to see. I'm sorry, who was it that you just said you wanted to see? You wanted to see Santos and
Santos versus Andrade, because that's been a match I've been clamoring for a minute. Once Andrade re-signed with the company.
so how would that be? How do you see that happening? Being that currently he is with the Judgment Day story. So how do you
Because
think
that's
that?
the thing I'm seeing, Shane, is the fact that this guy's Andrade's still floating himself, I think, and he hasn't really had a fight yet. So Monday, I think, will tell us the bigger side of the story as to where Andrade is going with this. And you never know, Andrade might literally follow Dom to SmackDown and be like, "Look, I gotta come save Ray. I want to go fight this guy and get Selena back." Andrade did recently say he does miss Selena, so he could be coming home together.
So yeah, like I was telling Boom, there's still 15 days left. A lot can happen between now and then in terms of adding characters and adding layers to the story. So hey, maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible in terms of a better storytelling, and we can see more superstars and possibly that happening. So we'll see. Congratulations to Ray. It was good to see Ray finally back in the ring, and it was interesting to see Dirty Dom have interactions with his father Ray and siding up with Santos. So this is going to be a good story moving forward. Let's go backstage, everyone. It's Bailey talking to Naomi, thanking her for everything that she did for her last week, dealing with dealing with damage control. Wow, what's wrong with me? Dealing with damage control. And then Bianca, she comes out and it's the same thing that she said before. She's mad at Bailey, as she should, for everything that her and damage control did to Bianca. And now, Bailey is back by herself going against damage control. And Bailey's like, well, this is what you birthed this. It's like all of this happened because of you. Like you was like you guys terrorized me for like the past 2 years, and now it's like you want to come and ask for help, this, that, and the third. Like she's not feeling this at all. And Naomi is like, yo, I'm here to help out. And Naomi and Bianca, they had a nice little interesting conversation backstage where Naomi said,
your feelings are valid. Everything you're saying is valid. But I can't do anything about the past. There's nothing, if I could fix it, I would. Yeah, you know that. You know I got your back. But I don't back down. And I'm going to go out there and do what needs to be done. But we both know that I can't do this by myself. They're picking us off one by one. Just like you can do it by yourself, B.
so does Naomi have a point, Jay and Dez, in terms of, because Naomi said, you can't do this by yourself. None of them can do this by themselves. But together, maybe they can do something. So, Jay, do you actually see them actually getting together to go against damage control? Or will Bianca continue with this whole, I'm not trusting her, I'm not down with all of this? Jay and then Des to follow?
Honestly, Shane, I think she's gonna roll with Naomi and what she wants done. You know, she's gonna have her back and everything because that's her fellow, African American chick, and like you could see it. She's gonna coincide with her, but she's still not gonna fuck with Bailey. She's like, nah, bitch, I'm not fucking with you. And you was a part of them situations where you tore me down. You jumped me with these people. You was you was a thorn on the side of my ass cheeks. Like, no, everything that you get is deserving. So, I could see some situation where Bianca just gets, really upset and, after she decides to want to help, she's gonna probably just turn face on Bailey. And that's what I can see happening. And, just by her words, they were strong and they were mean and aggressive towards her, that you can feel the aura of her turning heel one day. Not right now, but it's soon.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So regardless of how she feels, damage control is still her enemies, and you're gonna have to do what you have to do to finally get rid of them. and which is team up with Bayley. If we didn't know any better, we seen this already. We saw this happen. We saw Becky and Charlotte put this shit together, to the side and work together. We're watching it right now. Seth and Cody put this stuff to the side for the greater good. Eventually, Bianca's going to run out of steam because she can't say the same stuff over and over. And now that she came out already and put her nose into it, on behalf of Naomi, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Very well said, Dad. Very well said. And later on tonight, something happened that has me that would have me say that yes, I totally see her doing that. But we're going to talk about that later on. But right now, let's go back in the ring for we have our second match. It's
Shane, before
I
you
knew I
get too
forgot.
far,
Yes,
before
Des.
you get too far along, just play the message so it doesn't get, it doesn't backtrack us.
Good idea. I really need to start doing that. What the boom
The
says.
reason both you and Mundo are having the brain farts is that's what happens when you do an entire show with the King Boom himself, RJ Show. Spending like a couple hours with me ends up frying your brain. Boom.
Hold on, Shane. Shane, I got this real quick. He said, we're having brain farts and we're fried. Boom, you remember? Yeah. Yeah. I'm here, bro. I'm good. I ain't have no brain farts. I'm here. I'm good. The app had a brain fart, but I'm here. Shane O'Mac.
You know what? I'm going to be the man here, the bigger man here, and give myself because I wanted to be fancy, and I started the show on my phone, thinking that I would have like a better signal or whatever, but it was having technical difficulties, like with Des. So that's why I thought I can switch with no problems, but I think my switching did this whole knockdown thing. So I apologize to the fellas, and I apologize to everyone for that little technical difficulty. That was all my fault. So one more time for Shane O'Mac. That's what you get for trying to be fancy with your fancy ass. Keep it simple, man. Sit your ass down. All right.
And shout out to my tag partner LaJuan for sending me the link to get me back in here because I was just sitting there like I don't know what's happening right now. So LaJuan, thank you.
Thank you very much, LaJuan. Once again, coming through for the Three Bands Podcast. Thank you, sir. Let's get back in the ring. Match number 2. This is again a tag team qualifying match for a slot for this whole 6-pack of liquor tag team match for the titles. We had Austin Theory and his bestie Grayson Waller versus the OC teamed up with Minchin. She came and stood with them to cheer them on. I was surprised to see the OC tonight, being that their eyes is on the prize at NXT. Des, I'm gonna start with you and then Jay to follow. What are your thoughts on this particular match tonight?
This is going back to what we've been talking about with Braun Breaker and what do you call it? LWO. It's like they're really trying to give us two different versions of the same people. So on NXT, they're the Good Brothers. On SmackDown, they're the OC. So it's just like, what? And they continue their losing ways on SmackDown. Though I expected that because again, like I told you guys on Tuesday, I expect that whole tag team tournament to wrap up and it'll be the Wolf Dogs versus the Good Brothers at Stand and Deliver. So I'm not surprised at the outcome at all. And of course, you need to have some bad guys in the match as well. So who better to have than A-Town Down Under? Because at the least you get to see them get knocked off a ladder, maybe through a table or two. Get to see them get beat up. So I'm not mad at how this played out. I'm not surprised. Again, we've been calling this. We've been saying that they really been giving us guys, just with double characters. I don't even know what to call it, but the OC continues to lose as they were doing, and the Good Brothers are this top team. So it's weird, but that's how it's going. Jay?
Honestly, this was a match that we could have already been like, you know what, we know who's going to win this, just because of the fact that the OC is in a tag tournament on NXT. As Shane was saying, we've been watching that, so I sat back and just said to myself too, Theory and Waller could have won some way, somehow, and that's what happened tonight. And you know, let's see what A Town Down could do next week. It was
Wait,
cool to see Meechin. What happened?
I'm sorry. I forgot. I didn't even talk about the match. My apologies. I thought I was answering Shane's straight up question. But real quick, Jay, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to just let you finish. But bro, you should know what I'm about to bring up right now, bro. Did you see that shit, bro? Bro, did you see that
What
shit? Come on.
which one? The
come,
cartwheel
come,
flip?
no,
The
come
cartwheel
on,
flip
Jay.
or the arm
What
drag by
else?
Meechin?
What else would I be talking about, Jay? Did you see that? The one move that got everybody going crazy, bro. Did you see it?
Which one? The choke slam?
Bro. Yes.
That shit that got us
God.
there? Yes, yes.
Oh my
Bro, that shit
God.
was crazy.
Because we don't see choke slams often anymore. So it's like the height that he got on that. I was like, okay, the Theory was working with Triple H on that one. Because my God.
And it's good that they're making the bigger guys use it. The little guys using that doesn't look as powerful because
Right.
we've seen that Dijak uses it somewhat
Right.
on NXT, and now that Gallows is using it. It's good to display the 300-pound guys just going
And
bananas. Like,
the camera angle was perfect camera angle to see the actual height of that choke slam. Even Corey was going crazy, but I'm gonna let you continue on, bro. But I just needed to get that out.
nah, that was a good choke slam. Even the Meechin arm drag to Waller when he tried to do his little interference and try to catch them off guard. You know, the neck breaker from the top rope by Anderson, that shit was fire. His two spine busters back to back was crazy. You know, I feel like they said, Anderson's the speed, the rugged rough guy, while Anderson, like, Gallows is the one that just is the bruiser. He's gonna put the finishing touches on everything. And like me, if I knew any better, I would have said the OC should have won this, but just because of their situation, we kind of already knew where they was going, and they got to put over a fresher, younger group. So kudos to A Town Down for winning the match, and while holding Theory's legs to win. So they get to face the winner of the Profits and AOP.
Jay, but I mean, come on. Wouldn't you rather see the Wolf Dogs versus the Good Brothers versus
Of
instead
course,
of
of
seeing
course.
instead of seeing the OC go to the next round of this tournament on SmackDown and losing? Like, I would rather see
They
them. Yeah, I would rather see them in the one-on-one as far as teams instead of being a 6-pack. Like, because what would they do in a ladder match? Like, I don't see them as ladder match kind of
nah,
guys.
they're too old for that, and they don't even climb anything. So
Oh,
nah,
one more thing, Jay. That spine buster from Anderson to Theory, bruh.
he
Did you,
does it similar to Arn Anderson's, and that shit is
bruh?
crazy how he does it.
Oh my gosh, I was like, what? Wow, Shane.
Listening to you guys talk about this match, and then once you two hear the playback of this segment, you're going to know why the OC was in this match with Austin and Grayson tonight. Because of what you guys just did. That's why this match was this match. That's why the OC was in this match here. Because one thing about Theory, he is an awesome seller. And what better person can deliver a choke slam to him currently than big man Gallows? It was perfect. Yeah, we knew that OC was going to win because of the plans that they have for them at NXT, but man, I know me personally, and hearing you guys respond to a point where even Des was cutting Jay off with excitement like he was a kid at a candy store for free. This is why we had this match, and I enjoyed it. I like it. I like to see Austin and Grayson get their asses handed because they're such good sellers at that. And OC is one of the best teams to actually hand them their asses. So we'll see Austin and Waller moving forward to once again selling good stuff at Mania. Jay.
Shane, you see what I was telling you kind of like maybe a couple of weeks ago, like how you see they doing with Theory. They always put in Theory around a lot of the older legends to get, that experience of what it is to be good and great. You know, I like how they're doing that, and now you're incorporating Waller with them into it for the experience and the trial run. So, I could say that's good in what they're doing, having them develop like that as a tag team on SmackDown against some OGs.
Is that not clever by Triple H? Because when Vince had Theory in there, he was just skyrocketing him, but he wasn't deserving of it. And you notice the minute Triple H took over, he knocked that boy back down to size and was like, nah, you're not worthy of this. You're not worthy of that. Take it over, start over. But you know what? I'm going to give you a chance. I'm not going to put you in NXT. I'm going to make you, you're going to stay on TV and you're going to get your lumps and learn the right way on TV, whether it was Raw or SmackDown. And I like it. That's old school.
And the crazy thing was Waller got a new entrant. I mean, they both, you could say, since they came in together, they got a new entrance music. I noticed. I don't know if you guys peeped it or not.
Did we even see Waller come out? I swear he just popped up out of nowhere when Theory came out. So I don't remember seeing him come out.
That might be their own little A-Town down beat. Maybe, you never know.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. All I saw was Theory. Then the next thing you know, they was both in the ring. But the thing I give Theory this credit because yeah, he comes off as a pompous and as an asshole, but one thing that I know that he gives like full respect to the OGs and he's learning from the OGs. You know what I mean? So I give him credit for that. And of course, you have to work your way from the bottom up and he's most certainly doing that. He's like, okay, no problem. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Like I totally see him doing that and at the same time being this character and he's sticking to it from beginning to end. And that's why I like this guy. I really, really like him because he's learning, he keeps on learning and he's showing improving and he's selling. And this is what we have tonight. It's so good that this is like one of the longest conversations that we've had of him. And the fact that, I was surprised, like I said, I was surprised to see OC and they delivered. Oh no, this was an awesome, awesome match and a good segment, as well as a good segment for us in terms of talking about it. But let's talk about it. We had a video package. A video package of a guy we just spoke about can we say from NXT or from SmackDown? Braun Breaker, quote unquote, a new level of performance video package. And it's him with all of these stats, with him bench pressing and a long jump and all of these, physical things that he was doing. It looks like it was at the performance center or something. And then clips of his matches, his squash matches with these jobbers. So what was the point of this video package, Des and Jay? Because it's not like we're seeing him here for the first time. He has already performed. We've seen him a couple times backstage. Then he had these 2 matches. So what was the point of this video package, you think?
I'll be honest to you, both. If I worked for NXT as a writer or anybody of that nature, I would feel insulted that they did that tonight on SmackDown, because they made it seem as if nobody has ever seen him, or nobody watches NXT to see him every week. Every week. It's not like this guy is not on TV ever. He's on TV every Tuesday. So for them to do that, again, it's this weird mindset. Is like you're trying to separate the same person from what they do on Tuesday to what they do on Friday. I don't get it. And honest to God, to you, I fast forwarded through that shit because I'm like, why do I need to know this? Why do I need to see this? I see him every Tuesday. I know what he can do. So to me, it's again weird. I don't get what they're trying to do. It's not corresponding from what I guess they thought, they wrote down on paper and stuff, and then what they're producing on TV. It's just not working. It's stupid to me. Jay.
Honestly, I'm gonna be like, bro, I didn't understand the reason of doing it. I think they should have done that like prior to a match that he had coming, as far as when they showed him with the bench pressing and how fast he runs in the ring and this and that. I would have understood it then prior to a match. But just to, display him again to us like he hasn't had any matches on the brand is like, no, what are you doing? If that's the case, stop these vignettes, keep him on NXT and stop it. Let's focus on the man and the man himself somewhere else. This is not working. There's no time. If you gotta wait to this, situation where the USA takes SmackDown in the fall to go 3 hours, possibly you do it that way. But right now, bro, it's a waste of time. And WWE and Triple H and them, they all caught on to when it was happening to Melo. There was kind of no room for Melo at the moment, and the Trick situation was already gaining too much steam. So if this steam that's going on with the Wolf Dogs and NXT are going on, why ruin that momentum? Keep the kid going with what he got with Corbin because it's working. Don't kill his singles momentum before it can start. So keep the kid where he's at right now. Stop the vignettes and let's move on and focus on what he got going on now until that title run is over.
Jay, you see why I've been saying what I have been saying for weeks and months, where I said I don't want any of the new talent to go to SmackDown. Then I also said if you're going to bring them up, then wait until after WrestleMania. Like, it's literally right there. It's because you don't have the time. You don't have the time for it. So why even do it? Why? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Right, right. To me,
It's
it's killing the momentum of what the wrestlers will have coming forward. Like like tonight also we even got to, I'm not gonna say nothing, but we got it today by the other ones, our other recent call up, and you know if I want to see them wrestle, I want to see them get some opponents. And right now with what's going on, these storylines and everything, there's no margin for error if you're gonna do something with somebody, and you know don't do it right now. I understand what you're saying. There's, you know, they.
Jay.
I feel they fumbled the bag on that one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I said that only because of the fact that when we were talking about, like the whole situation with Final Testament and Bobby and friends, I'm like, they don't have enough time on the show. So these guys they can't get their storyline over because one week they're there, one week they're not there, one week they're there, then they're not there. It's like, it's just not enough time on SmackDown at all for what they want to do. And they got to realize that and understand it, because when they're doing what they're doing, it's taking away from the talent. Yes, you're putting them on TV, but then you're putting them in situations like it. What was the point of that? And I can go on and on about this, but Shane, back to you.
So it seems that, because is it fair to say that we've pretty much seen Breaker every week on SmackDown since his signing? So we've seen him do like two matches. We've seen him in a couple of, things backstage. And then we have him in this video package. I guess this is a way for him to have like that little slot. Like this is Breaker doing this and doing that and doing this. And today, and for some reason, again, it's still a mystery as to why they would have a video package now as opposed to when he first came out. Then that would have made sense. So I guess this is their way of him having his airtime for today. It's very weird. But yeah, I guess after Mania, it should make sense, or at least it better make sense. Because if you're doing the same thing after Mania, then it's just a big waste of time. But again, Mania is only 2 weeks away, so we'll just see how they're gonna keep pushing this guy on SmackDown. In terms of him on NXT, he's a superstar in NXT. He's a champion on NXT. Just a couple of days back, he has a belt on his shoulder, and now he's in a video. It's welcome to WWE, everyone. All right, so let's talk about this interview that Mr. Roman Reigns did on the Pat McAfee show. The only line that came out to me, because this was like a snippet that they showed on tonight's show, when Roman goes, "I'm the only guy that didn't have to go to Hollywood, but Hollywood came to me." That's the only thing that I got. So Des and Jay, did you guys see this interview? And if you did, what did you get out of it that's worth talking about?
Well, that part was funny because he was how can I say it? He was saying that he's the biggest star ever, basically. And he was saying how a lot of the guys had to go to Hollywood. He said Cena had to go to Hollywood, The Rock had to go to Hollywood. And like he said, Hollywood came to him in the form of his cousin, The Rock, put him in his movie or whatever like that. I still never seen it. But he called Michael Cole a dick rider. He called Michael Cole a dick rider when it comes to John Cena because he keeps referring to John Cena as the greatest of all time. He said that CM Punk, once he got to the mountaintop, he didn't like it, so he was bitching about it. He was like, "I'm not that way." He called Cody Rhodes a politician, and he said that Cody is just a chapter in the big book. It's not really relevant. And he was very dismissive about Cody's path outside of WWE. And he was like, once he saw what I was doing, he wanted to be a part of it. So he came back. That's why I'm not even going to go into it. But yeah, he was just saying a lot, man. Pat was just, letting him talk. And this is stuff, I've only seen clips of it. Usually I watch Pat's show, but since I had to work today, I couldn't watch it. So yeah, it was really interesting. Really, really interesting. Because we don't really ever hear from Roman as far as like interviews outside of WWE, except for when it's time to get to WrestleMania. That's when he starts talking. And yeah, he was like, he's the greatest wrestler of the greatest family dynasty ever, which is the Anawahu or Batu dynasty, however you pronounce that. But yeah, it was crazy.
It's pronounced Anawahi and a Fatu. It took a long time for me to get that. Like I went on YouTube, and there's a thing where you can type the name and pronunciation, and they pronounce it for you. I've like pronounced it like for a good while before I finally was able to mention the name. ANAO apostrophe I Anawahi. Jay.
Shane, real quick. I'm sorry, Jay.
Go ahead.
Shane, Shane, you can unmute yourself real quick because I'm done. But I thought, matter of fact, I'll save it. I'm sorry. I'll save it for later.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jay.
Okay, Des, you could have said it, but I didn't watch it, so basically what I was seeing and what I saw, it's just Roman being Roman right now. He's on top of the world. He has been for the past goddamn 4 years, and he went from all black hair on his face now to all gray damn near, and he's on goat. He's a goat right now. So for this generations, and for the stuff he said, and you seen the way McAfee just slipped back and was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. What side he's on, and I don't know. I don't know what else to say on it, but the shot he took at The Rock, we already kind of know that was gonna happen. So kudos to Roman for being on the show today and doing what he had to do. Good way to represent the brand.
Des, you was going to say something?
Yes, I was, and then I completely forgot what I was going to say. So I'm trying to think of it real quick. But
Okay, well, let me say this
yeah.
because we're still on the topic, and maybe by the time I'm done, you'll remember what you was going to say. But back to this line when he said, "I'm the only guy that didn't have to go to Hollywood." I mean, of course, no one had to go to Hollywood, but think about it. Hollywood came to The Rock, didn't they? Hollywood came to The Miz, came to Batista, came to um I just lost my thought. But the point is, they saw the greatness in all of these superstars and asked them all to come. And even Roman. Roman was
But
in the Fast and Furious movie. He was in
but
the
did
background. He didn't say anything, but he made sure he was seen.
but did they
You got it?
actually come? Did they
That
actually come
Shane,
to them? Did they
Shane,
actually come
no,
to
it
them,
wasn't.
Shane?
Shane, he wasn't in Fast and Furious. He was in Hobbs and Shaw.
All right now, Jay. Goddamn.
Well, isn't it called Fast and Furious, Sean and Hobbs? Like it's based off the Fast and Furious movie franchise, right? That's the movie I was talking about. But Des, is that what you wanted to say? That's what you wanted to mention?
I done forgot again. Thanks, Jay. God damn it.
Yeah. Shane, you're right because I have the Blu-ray and I'm looking at it right now, and it says Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
So you
So
interrupted
yeah,
me for no goddamn reason, just to be wrong. Thank you very much, Jay.
Cá-
I appreciate
cállate
that.
la boca, cállate,
You get you
cállate.
get you get 3 bells for that. Thanks.
And meanwhile, you still don't know Des. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe it'll come later on. Maybe it'll come while we in the ring. Let's go in the ring, fellas. Let's go in the ring for match number 3, which is Naomi versus Ion Sky, with, of course, her crew, Damage Control. Something interesting happened, though. So, Damage Control, they come out, minus Ion Sky. This is after, Naomi comes out with her new theme song, which I am still not a fan of.
EO.
But I'm sorry?
EO Sky.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. And wow, you
I had to get you
EO.
back. I had to get you back.
Reason why I said that, Des, was because this was the second time, this was the second day of broadcasting that you didn't say Anawahi. So that's why I said it. I let it fly last week, but then you said the exact same flub this week. So that's why I said Anawahi.
Well, look, you said Eon Sky last week too. Now, I didn't correct you, so I waited till today to say no. It's not Eon, it's EO.
All right, so then we both get our.
I'll gladly wear it. Look, I still can't say Santos's group's name, so I don't even say it anymore. So
Legado,
nope,
legado.
no, it's just
No.
LDF.
And what's the F word? What's the F name?
Phantasma. I know that part. Phantasma.
There you go. There you go. You got it.
Ah, you got it. There you go. Phantasma?
Phantasma. Yeah.
It's Phantasmo. Is it Phantasma or Phantasmo?
It's Phantasma. I know that part.
Legado de Fantasma.
Phantasma.
Yeah.
Well, cool. You got it.
Yeah, it's the other part. It's the D word that I always mess up, and I just be like, forget it.
Gotcha. But Des, can you say it now? Anawahi?
Of course, Anawahi. See, sounded just like
Okay,
you.
I got you right now, Des.
Mm-hmm.
EO.
Yeah.
EO. Woohoo! All right. I got it. But let's see if we can get it.
Shane.
Yes, Jay.
No, go ahead. I'll wait till you're done.
Okay. What was I saying? Brain freeze. Come
no,
back.
it's not brain freeze. It's Jay freeze. Jay keep interrupting us and making us forget what the hell we were going to say. And then he don't say nothing right.
Sorry. No, I was going to just say that Legado del Fantasma means legacy of ghost.
Ah. See, and that's why I'm freezing. I'm freezing like a ghost right now. Thanks to Jay. Thanks, dude. You're awesome. Now, speaking of awesome, let's get to this match if we can. I mean, literally, if we can, because EO was introduced, but she didn't come out because Damage Control. Meanwhile, they were standing there and they was dancing, and I'm like, what's going on? Then they showed the backstage when Miss Sky was beating up on Bailey. I mean, just laying her out, throwing her against the exit door and everything. The referees had to come and split her up, and she throws her hands up and she walks away. And then she finally comes in, looked like she was a little beat up, a little dazed, but then she got herself together, finally got in the ring, raised up her belt and said, yes, the champ is here. Let's do it. Let's go. So they had a match. It was a good match, a really, really good match. And I honestly think that Naomi would have won. But then, of course, because during the match, Damage Control was not there. They was not there. They stepped to the back as this match was going on. But before the end of the match, Damage Control, of course, they came and they showed their face, which was a huge distraction for Naomi. Miss Sky managed to take advantage, and she wins. There was a little poison mist that was thrown at Naomi's eyes, courtesy of Miss I thought was injured Oscar, but it was good to see that she was there. And then, of course, Bianca, she comes out to help out Naomi because she was being jumped by these 4 chicks. Like, what's going on? So Bianca comes out, and then she gets handed. But something interesting happened, which brings back to what we had discussed earlier. With this mist still in Naomi's eye, she managed to see clear enough to see that Bianca was getting, kicked and stuff like that. So she crawls to cover Bianca. And she was getting beat up, and then she started to get kicked, which I thought was very telling. The fact that Naomi would do that, even though she was hurt, like really hurt and could barely walk, but she found enough strength to cover Bianca as she was getting beat up. Now that was amazing to me. Jay, we'll start with you and then Des to follow. What are your thoughts on this match tonight?
Honestly, like you said, it was a good match. Naomi was in control pretty much a lot of this match, and EO was looking kind of off. This didn't look like the EO that we're normally used to seeing, and it seemed like she needed the help. And once she got that help, you was like, here we go. Since when are they not? We know they're gonna be lurking every single time. So once they came in, were doing their thing, and then decided to want to jump her, and Bianca came. You know, Bianca was blasting the hell out of them. She was, when she came in, she whipped up on Dakota. She went in there. She gave KODs. She was giving spine busters. She was just going ham to everybody in the ring until Dakota came back from behind on her. Her strength is unfucking believable. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, there was one time in NXT where they had that agility test, and her and Raquel, they was showing off their strength, and they was the strongest too. And look, up to this day now, Bianca's still, I could say, the strongest woman in wrestling right now, because she just picks these women up with ease, and it's nothing. It's not an issue. So kudos to her, and kudos to Naomi for actually just jumping over her and holding her from getting an even worse beat down than what she was getting. But it was just stupid to see how Io kept on trying to set her foot on top of both of them. Like she was literally, she was botching her own little foot on top of them type shit. So you know I wish Bailey came down to help, but we couldn't see that because Bailey was in the back hurt already. Huh. Let's see what happens next week with this.
First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, if you have sensitive ears, put your hands over your ears, because the first thing I'm gonna say is, fuck EO. How dare you? How dare you attack Bebe like that in the back? She wasn't even doing anything to you. You got a match to concentrate on, and you back there beating up Bailey. All right. You lucky I couldn't get that flight to Milwaukee fast enough. It's all good. It's all good though. You're gonna get yours. Yeah, Naomi, great fight. Thanks for trying to stick up for Bianca. Yeah, there's nothing else for me to say. You guys already said everything enough. So yeah, let's just see where this goes moving forward. Hopefully Bianca just wakes up and she's just like, look, we got to work together. Hopefully we can get that a good handshake, and we can move on. And real quick, shout out to my bestie Fizzle. Thank you for joining us on Friday Night Smackdown, the Three Bells podcast recap. Shane.
Yes, welcome everyone that is joining us today. All the friends, all the families, and all of our new friends that is joining us today. Happy Friday, everyone. But I hope that when Bianca comes to, that she sees these videos and see what Naomi did for her. And maybe that would help her decide, you know what? Because of what you did for me, I'm gonna look out for you since you looked out for me. And this whole thing with Baby getting beat up in the back like that, it was all part of their plan. All part of their plan, and it worked out for them. Because we saw what happened
Shane,
at the Yes, Jay.
do you think Naomi? No, do you think Naomi and Bianca challenge for the tag titles at Mania?
There's no competitors for the tag teams yet? Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, it's possible. I don't see why not. They gave them like more than enough reason to go for their next at Mania tonight. So they gave them quite a beatdown. So yeah, Jay,
Well,
that's
when you
doable.
think about it, who actually attacked Bianca mainly? It was Asuka and Kyrie. Huh. Shane.
Yeah. Enough, and I would like to see that match. I would like to see that. You want to know why? Because let's move forward to
Nope.
another. Oh,
Nope.
you're telling
Mm-mm-mm.
me no. Why?
I'm gonna hijack your show because this is I've been waiting for this because you ain't answered me in the chat, so I want to hear it now. I want to
Okay.
hear the very special SmackDown version. So, moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Mundo, host of Monday Night Raw on the Three Bells podcast. After this match, we had a very special video played, and it was about Jade Cargill.
See
And Miss
that? You see
Cargill,
that? You see that? You see that? I was
what, Shane?
literally about to announce that before I was rudely
I
interrupted
know
with your
that.
shenanigans. I was literally about to talk about
I
this.
know that, Shane, but I
You
want
know
you to
that?
be. I want you to, yes, because I took down the notes. I know what was next, but I'm saying I want you to be the interviewee and not the interviewer. I want to ask you the question so we can get the SmackDown Shane's rant of the night, because this is what you've been waiting for. This has
And
been
you was
building.
going to get that. You was totally
Yeah,
going to get that. I'm going to
yeah, but
rant
we
you
don't.
one day because
We
you was
we
so rude. You was
we don't.
rude. I may
We
have
don't
a
want.
rant on Jade, but you was rude, man. But you know what?
Nope.
Go ahead. You want to
Yes.
you want to do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Let it
All right.
happen. Let it happen
This
organically. I
is
don't want your written statement. I want you to just write.
a written statement. I don't write my rants. What's wrong with you? Who writes their rant? But I'll
I'm
have you
sorry.
write. I'll have you read your written intro to my non-written rant. Mr. Tyler Perry presents. Go right ahead.
I actually don't have one. I just thought about this off the top of my head once I realized what was next. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is now time for the SmackDown version of Shane's rant of the night. Shane, take it away.
And how did you know it was a rant? Anyway, so we finally get this video package of Ms. Jade Cargill. And it's about her talking about, she's here and, people talk about her even when she doesn't say a word. And it's official, everyone. She is going to be signing to SmackDown next Friday. Now, this is coming 6 months after she signed back in September of 2023. And she was in a couple of, little clips here and there backstage. She was, face to face with Charlotte Flair, and then she was with the signing next to Braun Breaker, but didn't sign a contract because the girls was doing something that was interrupting her and on her shine. And then she was sick, and she was in another, little backstage thing. I don't even know. It's up to a point where I just forget. And then she was at this special appearance where she gave a belt to this rapper guy. I don't even remember his name. But now they have this pretty beautiful Hollywood style video package of her announcing something that should have been done months ago. God damn it. I'm coming to SmackDown. No shit. I'm gonna sign for SmackDown. No kidding. Something that should have been happened. So she's gonna sign, and now what? We have this whole thing for you to sign, and now what? Like, who are you going against? You're telling me that you're coming from another brand just to be thrown into the biggest stage of the company to fight whom and for what and to gain what? I don't get it. You really all of this waiting and the fact that I don't even drink Pepsi anymore. The fact that if I open it now, it's not going to be too fizzy because you waited so goddamn long. You shook so freaking hard, with all of these images of you in your perfect body. You better come and show and prove big time. You have one match and you have one time to impress me, or so help me every show that the Three Bells would have, I am going to do nothing but rant you, Miss Jade. Des and Jade, did you see this package and what did you think about this package, especially the timing of it? Oof.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that was Shane rant of the night. Great job, Shane. But literally, I kid you not, All I thought about was you, Shane. Once I saw this, I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Finally, finally. And then when she said SmackDown, because LaWarn kept saying that she was going to go to SmackDown, I thought about him. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Oh, this is perfect. And that's all I thought about. I didn't think about nothing else because I'm like, I don't, it's like, who else? I mean, the only thing that she's involved herself in is what I mentioned to you guys a few weeks ago on Raw was the whole situation with Damage Control. So maybe she might be the fourth person that they need. And, but yeah, that's pretty much it. All I thought about was you, LaWarn, in our conversation that we had a few weeks ago on Raw. Jay?
Honestly, Shane, the only one thing I'd say is, if they're debuting, if they're showing her next week, that still doesn't mean she's even getting into a fight. So we still don't know when she's fighting, unless somebody decides to want to do something next week to her to stir the pot. You feel me? So, I hope they don't give her ass a jobber prior to any match that she has, because if they feed her a jobber, I'm gonna be upset. Like Shane said, Shane was ranting about it, and they gotta, if they're gonna bring her out there, they better bring her out there right against someone that actually got some type of skill already. Since they showed her and she looked incredible, body, physique, everything looks incredible on her. So you know, we got to get a good first impressions, and they better hurry up.
Well, here's the thing, though, and the difference between her and automatically when you said job, I thought of Braun Breaker, and how I thought ridiculous it was to have Braun Breaker with jobbers, and we've seen him do his thing already. It's almost like what you reintroducing us to this guy, as opposed to Jade. She's coming fresh from, well, not fresh at this point, but she's coming from a different circuit. So we need to see this WWE Jade. We know about AEW, but what's Miss WWE Jade about? We haven't seen like a full match of hers, just that one appearance on Royal Rumble. So that's what I want to see. And let it be, I don't know which girl that it could be, that's backstage at catering, but give us something for us to say, oh, okay, like a reference. Oh, okay, cool. That's what's up. Yeah. Right, Des? Yeah.
I spoiled it for y'all already. She's gonna join into this whole Damage Control situation. And let's see, the only other person from Damage Control that has not fought anybody yet is Kyrie Singh. Because next week we already have Bianca Belair going against Dakota Kai, I guess because of the situation with Asuka being sidelined right now. So yeah, it's only right. And it's a feud that she already entered herself into with the back and forth with EO telling her to mind her goddamn business, you know, Jade calling them little kids or, childish behavior and stuff like that. So it's right there. The writing is on the wall already. That's what she's entering herself into, not to mention overall just, the disrespect from the women's locker room that she got from when she was trying to sign with SmackDown the first time around, like LaWarn mentioned. So it's not going to be no jobber. She's getting right into this storyline because they don't have time. They have to keep it moving. And unfortunately, I was wrong when I said that Bayley was gonna run the gauntlet every week against a different member of Damage Control. They got us. It was like, nah, we're gonna have people that's gonna team up with her. They're gonna go against Damage Control each week too. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the last SmackDown before WrestleMania, Jade debuts and she's facing Kyrie. Shane.
But God damn it, you better do something, and you have to do a whole lot of impressing on me. I don't know about the other two guys at the table, but for me, I'm hard as a brick. So, and not in the
Uh,
good. I mean,
Yo,
granted,
Shane.
yes. Granted,
Uh,
yes. She could that way, but this
uh,
conversation that we're having, no, I'm tough in terms of you trying to convince me. because
Shane,
you have all this time. So, Des,
can I ask the opinion of my tag partner, because I know he's listening, but can I ask his opinion? Do you mind?
you wanna ask Lawan his opinion about this conversation we're having?
Yeah, because he's pretty much been in the same boat as you, as far as like making that shit make sense, and where, because he wanted to know where she should, where she would go. He kept saying she should be on SmackDown, so he's been right along with you. You just been ranting a little harder, but he's been right there with you. So, LaJuan, are you finally satisfied with what you got tonight from that video package with Jade?
Well, Lawan knows what he needs to do if he wants to be heard. All he has to do is just press that little circle, say what you got to say, just like this, and then play it and talk about it. Ain't that
Shane,
right, Lawan?
stop it. Stop that, Shane. Stop doing that to my tag partner. That's not nice. Stop it. You're the good guy tonight. You're supposed to be the bad guy on Monday.
I'm not doing anything bad. What am I doing bad?
The only thing you're not doing is playing slow music in the background. That's one thing. Yo, Shane, chill.
Well, that's because it's Friday. We don't need slow music. Friday is a slow music. So we're going to move right along while Lawan he creates this message, and then we're going to play that back. Okay, let me get my voice back. Be me. Here we go. All right, so Lawan is going to hit us up in a minute with a message. Meanwhile, let's move forward. We was reminded of a new documentary of the one great Bray Wyatt becoming immortal. That's going to come out in April 1st exclusively on Peacock. And the cool thing was, after the previews, they showed the shot of the arena, all the fireflies was moving along, and the camera did like this nice little pan, and it was just a beautiful shot, and just a way to show love to Bray Wyatt. And speaking of love, we will return right after these messages from LeBron. LeBron said,
I'm not really satisfied because she hasn't really done nothing yet besides wrestle in the Royal Rumble and made some appearances here and there on SmackDown and Raw. But it's good to see that she finally signed somewhere. I know she told a fan that she's not wrestling again. I don't know if that's true or not. I know it's bullshit, but we will see. And it's all about who she's going to feud with. It has to make sense. It has to be someone that is going to be good for her to. If she plans on wrestling at Mania, it has to be a good opponent. Hopefully, I don't know, Charlotte Flair is ready. I don't know, and she's back healthy. I highly doubt it, but it has to make sense. She has to get a good pop.
This some bullshit. This is some bullshit, Shane.
what's bullshit that your tag team partner agrees with me?
No, not at all. I told you that he does, but I'm saying the fact that he sounds 10 times better on SmackDown every goddamn Friday, he sounds like that. And then on Mondays, I don't get that. It's like, what's going on, LaJuan? I thought you were my partner. You're supposed to hold my show down for me, bro. I heard you nice and clear. No music in the background. Trying to put me to sleep. Nothing. What's going on?
Right, because usually on your show he sounds like this. Be like, so about that match, and yeah, and it'd be like, what you said, what?
Right. Or we got the little ballerina music in the background or something louder than him. But I just heard him 100% clear. Like, bro, come on. Can I get that on Monday? Because I'm gonna bring you up to the table. You're my guy. I'm gonna bring you up to the table on Monday. So can we get that same energy? Shane, I guess you must have harassed him enough to make sure he get his shit right on SmackDown, huh?
I do not harass LaJuan. Well, you think what I'm doing is harassing? You just harassed him.
Oh, no, listen. The other on Monday when I mentioned to Mars that you make sure that our sound is right, LaJuan was like, he sure does. Like,
And why was that bad? Because Lawan, he listens to our show, so he was confirming what he was saying. I don't see anything bad about that. I don't see anything bad about that. But
Bro,
here's his response. Here's Lawan's response before we
Nah, I
move
got
on.
these new headphones, man. Soundcore to the fullest. These are amazing headphones. These is working.
There you go. New headphones, new technology,
bro,
upgrades.
he sound like us. Like, I don't even know how to respond to this right now. This is different. This is crazy.
And that's a bad thing, or
No, I mean, all I said was, can I get this same thing on Monday? Can I get this on Monday? Because this is the second time that he said he had new headphones on SmackDown. So I'm just saying, can I get it on Raw? Let me get it on Raw.
we're gonna see on Monday, and I swear, if he sounds different on Monday, I'm going to laugh. I'm gonna
be pissed.
laugh so hard. Oh man, that's gonna be the funniest Raw episode.
I'm gonna send him to NXT. But like, you need to get it together back down there, bro, before you come back to Raw.
Oy vey. But let us continue on with this backstage. We are backstage, everyone. And I'm talking to Jay since Jay. Wake up, Jay. Wake up. You're still on the show. You're still here. We're talking to you. So I'm talking to
I'm
you
up.
only.
I'm wide
Okay.
awake.
Good, good. While Des is getting a drink of water, you and I are going to talk quick fast about this KO. Kevin Owens talking to Nick Aldis. And then out of nowhere, Mr. Pretty Deadly, they come out. And I guess they're crying or bitching or whatever about, losing the match or getting the match or something like that. So then the idea comes out that KO will have a tag team match against Pretty Deadly. But then it was like, well, KO, I mean, who's going to be your tag team partner? The camera pans back, and of course, it's the big Randy Orton. Randy Orton says, yeah, of course, yeah, I'll tag with you. So then it's official next week, everyone. We're going to have KO and RKO versus Pretty Deadly in the tag team match. So right before the end of the segment, Pretty Deadly was standing side by side. And Nick said, I wouldn't stand too close like that if I were you guys. And it was like, why? And before you know it, Kevin's big hand swings and hits both of them in the jaw, knocking them down to the ground. I thought that was like the funniest moment of the night. Jay, what was your thoughts on this cute little segment here that led to an actual tag team match for next week?
I actually enjoyed it because, as we were speaking one time on it before last, when they first tag team together, that they look good together, and why not, start getting them into the tag team title picture. You know, this is a good first step into it, and these are two well-seasoned vets that are going to be challenging some young boys, the S boys, and they were scared as shit when they saw Randy right next to them, and it was funny as shit. They're like, you could just tell that they they're good sellers, and the way they handle it was cool. But that shit was hilarious. How for the second time, KO has knocked out two people at the same time with one punch. That's hilarious. I can't wait to see this tag match next week, since they already announced it for that time, and we'll be talking more about it next week, guys.
Definitely looking forward to this because the match that they had last week was against DIY, yes, and it was for like a slot part of that six tag team match, whatever. So now they definitely got to step up their game because they're stepping against two, top shelf, top hitters, especially in RKO. So I'm really, really liking Pretty Deadly. And I have a feeling that we're going to see the best of them next week. At least I hope so. So This next segment, I want to discuss this with Dez. Dez, did you see this where AJ was about to have an interview and then LA Knight was outside honking his horn? Like,
Hell
did you
yeah.
see that?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I was laughing the
Explain
whole
your
time.
thoughts on it. Like, explain what happened and explain your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I found that segment to be hilarious because it was basically like old school WWF Attitude Era. AJ Styles was at his home, and as we've been seeing, like with different stars, they have been following them and chronicling, recording, and their process going to WrestleMania. So that's what they claim was happening, which explained why WWE cameras was there. So AJ was getting ready to explain his fitness routine, preparing for Mania, looking all jacked up. Honest to God, he really was looking. I'd never seen AJ Styles that goddamn jacked up before. But so yeah, then they heard somebody beeping a horn from a car uncontrollably. So like AJ goes outside and it's LA Knight, and he said, I told you, it's on site, And then they just start fighting. They knock the cameraman over, the camera goes out, and then we get to see the police camera view, because police officers, they have dashboard cameras and stuff like that. So we see them, they're on the ground fighting and stuff like that. The police officers are running over there out the car, like, stop it, and they break them up. Mind you, these are real police officers because they got their guns and shit on them. And they take down LA Knight, start handcuffing him. He's talking his shit to AJ. AJ's talking his shit, and then AJ tries to attack LA Knight, and then the other officer pins AJ down and starts to try to arrest him. He's like, "Hey, hold on, this is my house." And the cop was like, "Oh shit, my bad." So, well, back up. You see AJ's wife outside screaming and yelling. It was like old school WWF. It gave off Rock and Austin vibes. Austin being LA Knight, talking his shit, telling him, "Look, if you don't show up next week, if you don't show up to WrestleMania, I'll be right back here doing the same shit again because it's on site." And I was just like, yes, this is how you follow up what they've been doing the last few weeks, and maybe Shane will be more vested in the LA Knight character again from seeing this energy from him. Shane?
Yeah, maybe. No, but it's a good story. I like how they switched it up to that instead of doing like, an in ring or like backstage, because we've seen that. Like, we've seen the various locations where they met up and, had their little bounce. So it was cool to see them do it this way. It was real cool. And just so you know, dads and everyone else, AJ did not press charges, and LA Knight was in fact released. So this will continue because he wants, LA, he wants that ass even before Mania. So we might see something again next week. We shall see. Before we continue, we will return after this message.
This is the thanks I get when I was trying to help you while the app was malfunctioning. Wow. You doing what Seth Rollins has done to Roman Reigns, stab me in the back. That's messed up.
Ha ha.
Uh-oh.
So you took that as me stabbing you in the back when I was asking how come I couldn't get this amount of clarity on my show, on our show. Bro, you are my special guest. You see how on Smackdown you stay your ass in the listeners area and gotta send messages, but on my show, on our show, you're up there with us. You don't have to send messages. You get to be heard whenever you want to speak, and I'm turning my back on you. Wow.
Tell her why you mad, Des. Tell her why you mad.
Wow. Heartbroken. I'm heartbroken. Boom, where you at, Boom?
How can we? Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went off low one just to go at Boom. He sidetracked the whole shit.
Somebody's throwing snowballs.
And somebody's throwing snowballs. I'll give you one guess as to who it is. I give you one guess. That's a mess. That's a mess.
He called himself this. He thought he was. I said, no, you're not. Because I am. Boom.
That's a mess that you're playing that song on my show, number one. And number two, that is a non-WWE licensed song. So
I know. I said I was going to try to piss Jay off tonight. So that's why I keep hitting the button.
well, if you're gonna piss Jay off, why don't you do it on his show? That will piss him off. Not going on my show. It just pisses me off.
You see, I'm behaving tonight. I'm quiet. I'm always nice until poke. But
you're
I'm here.
behaving.
I'm here
I'm
behaving.
You done interrupted me and Shane so many times we done forgot about what the hell we was doing. You paused us so many times, bro.
I didn't do nada. Nobody's seen anything. That was a blur.
Please welcome to the show, the Des Taker. That is who we've been getting all night tonight. I don't know why. I guess Des Taker.
It's Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday, and it's been a while.
It's Friday.
So it's Friday. But I got something for you, Des Taker and Triple J. I have a match. Let's go back in the ring for match number 4. This is another, and this is really confusing with this whole tag team qualifying match because the winner of this tag team match, they're not exactly going to Mania, right? Like there's still another match after this match that they have to win in order to get a slot at Mania. We're talking Street Profits, part of Bobby and Friends. Bobby and Miss B-Fab, they was out there to say hi and to cheer on for the Street Profits versus AOP. Let's see. Des, we'll start with you and then Jay to follow about this qualifying tag team match.
Shane, real quick before you go, I wanted to get your opinion on this. How do you feel about what they have, like people who are part of factions or managers just stopping at the top of the stage to wave at the crowd and then go backstage? Like, how do you feel about them not coming to ringside anymore? Like, it's weird to me. Like, what are your thoughts on that, real quick?
Well, because if they come to ringside, it'll be assumed that they're going to some way, somehow interfere. So by them coming down and just saying hi, they're getting their little, they're getting their little TV time, they're getting their shine, and then they go to the back. That way we could have a fair match, which I'm not a fan of. Like I always like to have a little cheat here and there. Fair is boring.
But even with the good guys, like you don't expect Bobby and matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't AOP's manager? He was down there. How come he was able to stay, but Bobby and B-Fab had to leave? Same thing. Mi Chen was down there with the OC. Like I don't know. It's weird. But yeah.
I don't know. That sounds like a how do you call it? What would you do if you were Triple H? And what is your little question that you have?
My segment? Yeah, my
segment?
my segment. It's called if I were Triple H or Adam Pearce, what would I change?
Yeah. This would be part of like that discussion in terms of like you would have everyone do that instead of just only a few. Because
how come the black people couldn't be down at the rings?
I knew you was gonna say that. But do continue. The table's yours.
But yeah, the match was pretty cool. I mean, all I kept hearing in my head was Jay, like, I hate AOP. They suck. This is trash. That's all I kept hearing in my head. I'm like, come on, Jay, just give it a chance. Give it a chance. And but then I'm like, damn, this match is kind of we already know who's gonna win, so it's like, and I'm like, damn, they could have did this match like 3 weeks ago. So I'm like, But yeah, the only spot that I had 2 spots real quick. AOP catching Montez in dead air when he jumped over the top rope, and then they threw him at Dawkins. I was like, well, goddamn, because you heard Montez say, "Oh shit." I was like, okay. And then Dawkins with that hot tag when he came in and just started taking down AOP. I was like, all right, yeah, you better show your talent, bro. And real quick, speaking of Dawkins, I just want to give my condolences to him. It was reported earlier in the week that his mom passed away, so I wasn't even sure that he was going to show up on Friday Night SmackDown, but he did the professional thing and he showed up. So condolences to you, Dawkins, on that. And yeah, and the only other thing I have to say, Jay, you might have noticed this, but when the Street Profits won, they played a different song. It was like a slower song for them. Are they changing their music?
I don't know. It did sound awkward from the beginning, but I don't know where this gonna lead to them with it. Let's hope they get a different beat. But like I said, AOP sucks ass, bro. Come on. Y'all 2 big guys are like 800 pounds combined, and y'all can't beat these guys? Get out of here with that, bro. Come on, I told ya. They get zero momentum unless their boy is there, and Karrion Cross is trash himself because look, you're supposed to be there, help your boys win in advance, and try to get these tag team titles. You know, don't leave poor Ellerin by himself out there. His old ass, he can't do shit. He could have done shit 25, 30 years ago with Legion of Doom, but now with AOP, you would as a manager, you would expect for AOP just to smash him and beat him, but no, the Street Profits, you know, the tag team, the best tag team of what, 21 or 22, when they was on their run, they showed why they still major players in the game. And, I loved what Dawkins was doing tonight. His moves were on point and more faster. I can see that, with his tone down weight and everything, he's getting there to the point where you can see more agility, speed, everything, and I'm liking it. That silencer move that he does when he picks you up in the air and he twists your body with him, I think that shit is fire. I've always called him, this generation's version of D'Lo Brown, and I want to continue seeing more of his work because we got to see more of that displayed today more than Tez, actually. Tez did the pin. Tez might have won the match for him, but this win, the MVP of this match was Dawkins all the way. So kudos to the Profits and hope they do next week.
Yes, I agree with you, Jay. It was totally him and shining throughout the entire match, and not for nothing. And I was going to announce that later on for our news clips, or excuse me, about the passing of his mom. She was like his biggest cheerleader, and I'm more than sure, and I can bet that he totally dedicated that match to her. So,
My apologies,
thinking
Shane.
about
I'm
that.
sorry.
No, it's fine, dude.
Because
No, wait,
it's
are you
been bothering
apologizing
me
for what
all
you
week.
said? Are you apologizing for what you said or interrupting because you're about to say something?
No, I apologize for mentioning that before you got to your your news clips and stuff like that. But it
Oh,
it
no,
was
please,
something that
you
was
didn't know.
bothering me all week. So yeah, I'm sorry.
No. It's totally fine. Please do not apologize. Like you had no idea. How would you to know that I was going to mention that? So no, it's totally fine. And you said it because it all tied in with the match and your thoughts on the match. So no, please, you no need to apologize at all. And I do agree in terms of our prayers and condolences goes out to Mr. Dawkins as well as family and friends. So And this was, we were reminded, of course, that Bianca is going to have a one-on-one match with Dakota Kai and Damage Control, and Bianca hopefully with Naomi, hopefully with Bailey, and hopefully with someone else. We shall see. By the way, Roman Reigns came into the stadium, and for the first time, we get to see this new hoodie, this family above all hoodie, which reminds us that his other hoodie, Levels Above Top, was the top merch of last week. Is this hoodie going to be the next top merch? Maybe. And speaking of, let's go into the ring. We're in the ring one last time. This is not for a match, just for a little talk, a little discussion, one on one with Roman Reigns going face to face with Cody. You know what, Jay? I want you to start first in terms of what you saw and what you thought, and then Dez to follow on the face to face with Roman versus Cody.
You know, the stuff that
Mute check 1 2. Unmute check. You're muted, Jay.
Jay, you're on mute.
my bad, my
Okay,
bad, my bad. I
Jay.
know I thought I no, it must have tapped an extra time because I literally untapped it and I started talking and then you just said something. I put my head down and looked. I'm like, oh shit, it's still on red. What the hell?
Okay, we cool.
What? I had a Shane moment. I had an oy vey. So yeah, from what
Was
I
that a
seen
shot?
there, no,
That
I don't
touch
take shots
that
with my guy. I never do. I don't, that wasn't.
that tasted like a shot. I didn't
No,
see
I just
anything
had an oy
positive
vey
out of that.
moment. No, I just had
Okay.
an oy vey moment. Relax. Don't try to
All
start
right.
beef where there is none. Please,
Uh,
please
okay.
take her. Go back in your coffin, please, please.
All right.
Put the makeup on, please.
Continue.
Okay. Yes. You know, from this, what I got was, there was a point where Barrett was like, he was even thinking that the bloodline was going to come out. He even said psych. You heard him say that. And, you know, from what I seen and what I got from the two was Roman's letting him know, like, look, I kept my word. Cody's like, yeah, I kept my word. And, you know, Roman's letting him know, you're a fool, you're stupid, you're an idiot. You're not thinking with your head, you're thinking with your heart, and you align yourself with my little brother Seth. And he's letting them know, like, the same way Seth stabbed me in the back, he can stab you in the back just as well. So, what you think is gonna happen to you? And Cody's like, yeah, but you know what? I remember the Shield. There was one point when you guys were undefeated, and who beat you? Last name Rhodes. So, he's like, I can trust Seth now. And then he asks the crowd the same shit. So he says Seth might hate my guts, but you might be right. You know, I could. Can you trust your partner at Mania, The Rock? Like, who's in charge, the chief or the final boss? So, what I'm getting from this is that they're just taking shots at each other big time, and it's hitting. And Roman yet again hit them with the number two line, as if we ain't hear your number two multiple times coming out his mouth to other opponents that he's fought. So I felt like that was a rewritten line from previous stuff that he said before. And other than that, when they left you know Roman was like, "You're the greatest number two," and all of that other stuff. No, Cody was like, I might be the greatest number two when it comes to Mania, but I'm the one. So good luck." And Roman declined to shake his hand when he put his hand out to want to shake it. And as Roman leaves, he snaps his fingers, and here we go. Solo and Jimmy came out, and 5 seconds later, from the other side, we get Little Red Riding Hood, my boy, Mr. Seth Rollins, and Jay Uso to even out the score. I actually thought we was gonna get a little duel and where everybody was gonna be fighting each other, which would have been an epic way to end the night with a brawl. But we didn't. We just got a stalemate. So this is to be continued, and we could tell there's gonna be something else lurking either Monday or next Friday with the situation. So now that the tables have turned and we got to see what we got to see tonight, we're like, we got fed a couple of stories in one. We got the Jay and Jimmy one being that, and then the tag team match, and then we got Cody and just Roman. So we got fed like three different matches all in one. So this was cool to see, and I'm ready for it, man. Mania can't get here any faster, guys. So Des, go ahead.
All right, so I'm not going to repeat everything he just said because there's nothing else to add to that. Only thing that I seen that was striking to me was when Seth and Jay appeared. The long stare that Roman gave to Jay and Jay gave to Roman, and the look of disappointment by Roman spoke volumes to me because it's like, damn, that's my family right there. And remember, Roman hasn't seen Jay in a long, long time as far as WWE TV. It's been a long time. And to see him on the opposition side, to see him against the bloodline, that spoke volumes to me, man. Like, I was just like, okay, this is nice. This is real. And then, the brothers looking at each other. And yeah, so I just really looked into that. That was really something that spoke to me out of everything that we witnessed tonight. That's pretty much it for me. Shane?
And with all of that that happened, which to me, I don't know if anyone else noticed, or maybe it's just me, on how this segment dragged. It dragged to me. I don't know, because of the fact that it started so early. Because do you guys remember what time it started? Like, if I didn't know any better, it looked like it was like 9:30 something when Roman's music first hit.
Uh-huh.
Did you remember the time, Jay?
It was like 9:36.
9:36. And that's what we got. And I say all that because you know what time it ended? What time we saw that the little icon thing? What time was it on your clock, Des?
I don't know. I was a little bit behind, but I had a feeling that you're gonna go and how I was complaining about WWE leaving time on the table. So tell me, it had to be about 56 or 58. Which one was it?
It was 57. It was
Yeah,
9:57.
that's what happens when you don't have The Rock on the show, killing on your time.
Right, right. And like I said, this seemed to have dragged. And if this didn't drag, if they would have like sped it up, you could have had enough time for like another match. Like you could have put another match, in tonight. But the fact that it dragged and then it ended at 9:57, like, dude, that's a whole 2 minutes and change that we're not getting. We are here to see 2 hours of SmackDown, not an hour and 57 minutes. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pissed off that I was shortchanged here, man. Trust you and me, if you go into the store and you giving the right amount of money and they giving you $2 short, you're gonna say, "Hey, man, where's my money? You owe me $2.
Yo, Shane, you
SmackDown,
fun.
you owe us $2. You owe us 2 minutes, man. You could have done a
No, but
whole lot." You understand? Because usually when a show is good, and Des, when a show is jam packed and real good, it's like 9:59, 59. when those cameras
Mm-hmm.
come off, and then boom, it goes straight to the news, not even commercial, straight
Right,
to the news.
right. A shame, but that was my gripe before we had 3 weeks straight of The Rock, where everything was ending on time, or
Mm-hmm.
right on, like, or after the time, like it got cut off.
Mm-hmm.
That was my gripe. I'm like, yo, why are y'all leaving so much time on the table? And I said the same thing that you said. I said, y'all left enough time where we could have got a few more minutes of another match,
Right.
or a match that we felt ended abruptly because they wanted to make sure we had enough time for this. I feel your pain.
Doesn't make no sense. And how are we going to get those 2 minutes? You're not going to throw it on another SmackDown because you have to end by 10 o'clock. You're not going to put it on a Raw because you have to end by 11 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Give me like an extra cookie or something. You got to give me something. Hmm. Humph. Well, speaking of giving, it is time for us. If we get to it, it is time for us to give you our news clips for the week. This is some of the many news that has been going on throughout the week in the world of WWE. The Rhodes legacy is growing. Wrestling has more than one royal family. Goddamn right. For nephews, Wyatt and Wayne Rhodes are brand new to wrestling. And these two, they call themselves the Texas Outlaws. And they're going to debut, as a matter of fact, this Sunday on RWA, which is Renegade Wrestling Alliance. Here's something interesting. Their very first match this Sunday is the main event with 2 out of 3 falls in a 30-minute, time limit. Forget this. The new RWA Tag Team Championship. These dudes are getting a title match on their first debut match. Good luck to the Texas Outlaws. And I'd like to say congratulations to Maurice and continue prayers for Miss Maurice. For those you know, Maurice is the Mrs. wife. She had surgery to have her ovaries, uterus, tubes, cervix, and omentum removed. For she had a primary peritoneal serous borderline tumor to be removed. And she is happy to report the amazing news is that she is tumor free. So shout out to you, Maurice, for being tumor free, and all the best on your continued and fast healing. Speaking of Anawahi, Afa Anawahi, part of the Wild Samoans, he is scheduled or was scheduled to have surgery today to repair 2 fractures that he suffered after falling on his back. He should have had his surgery today, so we wishing you a fast and healthy recovery. We saw Nick Aldis today on SmackDown, yes, but this week it is reported that he suffered an unfortunate injury. He had torn his bicep. So as you see today, he did the surgery and everything looks good. So we say fast, speedy recovery for you as well. Speaking of recovery, CM Punk. CM Punk is doing great these days. For the little robotic arm that he had, it has been removed. And there is a video surfacing that he has been doing what is called tricep pull downs. He was doing that without the robot. You couldn't do that with the robot. So will we see CM do a little swinging left and right at Mania? We shall see. Hope to see. And I want to end the news clips with the help of Mr. Mundo, because we was talking earlier about Goldberg and his comments to one Oscar. Des, take it away if you can, in terms of why people were talking about Goldberg and what he said about Oscar.
No problem. I'm actually going to let Goldberg speak for himself if you guys don't mind, okay? Here we go.
Well, a girl beat my winning streak.
What's that? A girl what?
Beat my undefeated streak.
Oh, I didn't know that. What's the story there?
Yeah, I can't even remember. Asuka is her name. Some Japanese girl. And they touted her as being the one to have the longest winning streak. And it just so happened that culminated when I got there, right? And then it just so happened that every single wrestler uses the spear in their moves, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Pretty ironic that happened when I got there, right? So that's how they do it.
Did something happen when you got there that you think caused the rub, where they wanted to change the story? Was there one thing, or do you think it was just kind of?
No, the fact that I didn't get along with Paul Levesque, which is Vince's son-in-law, I think had everything to do with it.
So it was multiple things that came out of this one instance. The first one, as you heard, was him being mad all of a sudden about Oscar, her winning streak, surpassing his in WCW. And then, he had a problem with the fact that a lot of guys now use the spear. And then he blamed the fact that him and Triple H didn't get along. And so before we open this back up, I'm going to play the clip from many, many years ago of Triple H addressing a class of tough enough students. And he might be talking about a certain Goldberg. So let's listen in. Triple H?
If your biggest idol in this business is a guy that's been in the business for about a year, got everything handed to him, can't have a match longer than 4 minutes, has not wrestled probably for more than 3 months straight, because every 3 months he's got a hangnail, he's got a toothache, he's got a tummy ache, and he has to take time off. And I wonder where does that mentally put that person? What does that person think about the business? Is it about what we do? Is it about telling a story? Or is it just about being a big jacked up guy that stands in the ring, is fed a bunch of guys that really don't know what they're doing to mow over? He abuses that.
So, yeah. I think that's where the beef started right there. The fact that Triple H never really cared for Goldberg and what he did in WCW. So, yeah, that's what the drama has been for the last 12 to 24 hours as far as Goldberg. And, man, is that spicy or not? Shay and Jane. Shay and Jay.
Jane? Wow, we got a Lady Bell. Okay.
My apologies.
No, you just say, I know why you're saying that, because I smoke Mary Jane. It's okay.
Nice recovery.
I mean, you didn't have to tell grown folks business like that, but okay. I mean, first off, it wasn't like Trip was lying. I mean, he's not lying, and it sounds to me that somebody just sounds a little salty, almost like another has been person that talks a lot of smack out of nowhere. His name starts with a B and ends with wah wah. So that's what it sounds like to me. It just sounds like a bunch of salty crying. Yeah, it's like that's all the attention that I want to give to it. Jay.
The crazy thing is they found an old tweet from Scott Hall saying, congratulations to Asuka, and that she is better than Goldberg. So I also think that adds fuel to the fire, because it makes Goldberg look like a piece of shit. Should have never opened your mouth. Like, bro, it's Women's History Month. Why you gonna even downplay a female like that with records? Like, bro, a female can't have a record? Are you serious? Just because it's yours and you had it in WCW, another federation that bought you guys out? Come on, please stop complaining. You're doing the same shit like sometimes, like when Kevin Nash be doing it on his podcasts. He'd be the same way. He'd be downgrading a lot of shit. So, we kind of see these older era guys don't really respect what this new generation is out there doing. And it brings to me, Divine, that, what Kurt Angle said a minute ago. He said when he retired and everything, the only person who kept in touch with him was Triple H. And everybody from his generation doesn't keep in touch with him, doesn't call him, doesn't do this, doesn't do that. So you could kind of see how these guys now do what they do. They just like to sit back and bash the previous generation, and that shit sucks. Like, bro, just let them do what they do and let them enjoy it. Like, really, your record was in a different federation. This is in this federation. She started hers in NXT, totally different. You know, Screw Goldberg, his old ass, Mr. 4 Minutes. Thank you, Triple H, for saying what he said. And Des, thank you for playing that because I never heard that shit from Triple H, bro.
Jay, I specifically played it because of the fact that you were so passionate about this, and I wanted to hear your take on it. And I would love for you, if you still have it, please read the message that Goldberg sent out when Asuka, not Asuka, but Asuka did, break his record. If you still have it, Jay, you still have it? We're giving Jay time to shuffle some papers, but I find it disrespectful that now all of a sudden, all these years later, that you have a voice. Shane, I don't know. All of a sudden, these people, I have a topic. I don't want to get into it tonight. I want to wait for Raw. I'm gonna bring it up for rumors, reactions, and hot takes. But all of a sudden now, these wrestlers have opinions and they want to say certain things. But when a certain somebody was still in charge of WWE, they were on mute. Like Beyonce said, "Look around, everybody on mute," and they were hushed. But now that this certain somebody isn't in charge anymore, they have all the guts in the world to speak up. And they sound bitter, very bitter. Goldberg, you sound bitter. And bro, you look stupid. Ugh. Shane?
Yeah, it seems like all of these guys that sound bitter. I mean, are they doing that because this is their way of getting clout of being relevant by saying, I used to do this and I used to do that, and all of these people is biting me. And I mean, because that's what it basically boils down to me anyway. I'm the originator, and if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be doing this and doing that. And, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have a record to break. And I'm the originator of this move, and you should acknowledge me. And that's what it just seems like to me. Like, instead of just like congratulating and showing love and talking about the superstars like how we talk about them. For the most part, we praise it. We praise for the most part. I mean, we have one or two here and there that we have a legit reason to rant and gripe about. But for the most part, we show them love. But this is how you want to stay relevant, by spewing negative?
Right.
Exactly.
Before you go, Jay, because I think you found it. But in all honesty, first off, the spear wasn't even Goldberg's finishing move. Let's just start there. Why is that an issue? Secondly, don't you think that people like Shawn Michaels should have an issue, if anybody, because his finishing move is now just a regular kick that we see damn near every match, the super kick. The DDT is no longer a finishing move like it used to be with Jake the Snake. We see a lot of leg drops. That's not a finishing move anymore. It used to be Hulk Hogan's. So if anything, those people should have gripes, but they don't. They understand that the industry moves on, and I don't understand where Goldberg is coming from with this. Like you said, maybe he's clout chasing, but Jay, Do you have the quotes? Do you have the quote that you shared with us earlier from Goldberg?
Goldberg basically said, "Congratulations, Oscar, on your 149th win in a row. Who's next?" This tweet was from February 25th, 2017. Congratulating him.
So all of a sudden now, he doesn't know her name. All of a sudden now, he's pissed off about something that was how many years ago? That, I mean, it's not even relevant right now. And then not to mention his original streak. Most people, you know, of this generation don't even know about that shit unless they watch a documentary. So I don't get it at all. I don't get it. Shane?
I mean, that's just total shade. That's shade right there for you to properly pronounce her name in 2017, and now you can barely quote unquote pronounce it. That's just petty shade right there, man. Not a good look on you at all, dude. You need to take this outfit off and give it back to Goodwill because it's making you look fat and sloppy and loud and unclass. No class, non-class. Mm. But you know what? We're gonna end on a happy note because guess what, everyone? It's my favorite part of the show. Happy birthdays! If you're celebrating a birthday this week, we like to say happy birthday to everyone. For guess who else you're celebrating with? Sting! Sting retired, and he retired because he's at that retired age. For he's celebrating his 65th birthday. And remember Rick the Model Martel? He celebrates 68. And Ethan Carter III, aka EC3, he's 41. And Mr. Champion Samoa Joe, he celebrates 45. And we just saw him tonight. Grayson Waller got himself a nice birthday present by winning his match and advancing. He turns 34. And I would love to see her again, being that her man is back at WWE. AJ Lee, she celebrates 37. And we'd like to give a heavenly birthday to one Andrew Robert Patrick Martin, also known as Tess. Remember Big Tess? He was part of TNA, led by Trish Teston Albert. He was born 1975 and passed away in 2009 at the age of 33. And on a personal note, we like to give special shout out to two of the Three Bell homies. We have our homies Lawan. Lawan, he is continuing to celebrate his birthday. We like to say happy birthday, man. And also the other homie, Drew. Happy birthday to both Lawan and Drew. Thank you so much, guys, for continuing to rock with us and to tune in. We hope you celebrate your birthdays to the fullest. And we hope that all of the superstars in your lives celebrate their birthdays as well. Dez and Jay, are there any birthdays or anniversaries you'd like to share with us?
For once, I do not have any birthdays. This is the first time in a few weeks. So just happy birthday to everyone that you mentioned. Happy birthday to anyone that we missed. Happy birthday to anyone that I said happy birthday to throughout the week on Facebook, Instagram. It's all love, all love, 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 love. Oh, I'm sorry. And I just wanted, since you said anniversary, I just want to give a shout out to Black Fire Percussion. They had a 20 year anniversary last week, Saturday, performance that they did, and they killed it. So congratulations to them. I marched with multiple people of Black Fire Percussion for my entire teenage life, and very proud and happy to have been a part of that, to see that, witness that, hug it out, love it out, tears and everything. So congratulations to you guys. Love y'all.
And with me, as always, there ain't nobody that I know that had a birthday this week, but hopefully next week I'll have one. And, happy birthday to everybody. The fellas, Drew and Lawan. Kudos to the both of you guys. and to everybody that's had a birthday all throughout the world. God bless everybody and have a great weekend.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, that's it, everyone. We are coming to the end of our show, but before the end of all of our shows, we have to ask that big 3 bell question to all of our guys here at the table, starting with Jay and then Dez. What was your 3 bells match and or moment of the night? Jay?
Well, for me, you know, my match of the night, I would say is, I'm gonna keep it real. I would say that, oh yeah, I don't know which way to go with this, but I'm gonna say that Naomi and Asuka match, not Naomi and Io Sky match, was the best match to me because both women were doing what they had to do in the ring, but Naomi was doing extra. And the move of the night, like I said earlier, was that silencer move by Dawkins. I thought that shit was so fire.
Dez?
Well, Shane, you're gonna give him his 3 bells first. All right, for me, my match of the night was Rey Mysterio versus Santos, only because of the fact that I am just in awe. In awe. Just like how everybody is in awe of how LeBron James continues to play so great in basketball in his 21st or 22nd season, I am still in awe of how the hell Rey Mysterio can continue to perform the way he does at the age that he is. It's literally just awe-inspiring. So that is my match of the night, and my moment of the night goes to Gallet. What's his name? damn it! I'm thinking of freaking NXT. The OC for that choke slam. That choke slam spoke wonders to me as a person who loves the Undertaker, who does choke slams at his, as his special move before the finisher. I was highly impressed by that. So, match of the night, Ray versus Santos. Moment of the night, that hellacious choke slam. Thank you.
And for me, okay, you can stop. Okay, and for me, the match, I would say the Street Profits versus AOP. You know, Dawkins, in spite of the fact that he lost his moms, he still went out there and he delivered possibly one of the best performances he has ever done in his entire career. He was able to do that, and like I said, it had to have been to pay respects and that was to dedicate to his mom. So I would definitely say the Street Profits versus AOP. My moment of the night, it was a funny moment and a surprising moment when Pretty Deadly was standing there and out of nowhere Kevin Owens' fist just comes into the screen and just knocks them both out into the ground. I thought that was like the funniest moment of the entire night. Well worth these 3 bells from me to you guys. Well, everyone, that is our show for tonight. We thank you all so much for joining us on this Friday with this Friday recap. It is good to always be here with the homies, Mundo, aka Mr. AKA, and apparently AKA Des Taker. That's who we had mostly tonight. It was good to see him, as well as always good to see the cool guy, the too cool for school, Triple J, and as well as the homies Luwan and Ghostface Killer and everyone that dropped on by to say hi, and to everybody out there. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget, you can catch Mr. Mundo, aka on our episodes of Raw every Monday at 11:15. And then you have Triple J to do our Tuesdays NXT. That's every Tuesday at 10:20 p.m. And then if you're not doing anything on Fridays, why don't you come on back and join me, your homie, Shane O'Mac, and the other homies at the Three Bells podcast table as we talk about SmackDown every Friday night at 10:15 p.m. And we also have our YouTube page, the Three Bell Podcast. Jay and Dez, any last words, any goodbyes? Or Dez and Jay, any last words, any goodbyes?
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
I'd like to thank everybody that's been tuning in tonight and appreciate everybody that's been tuning in all week to our show. I can't thank you guys anymore. You guys as well. We're getting closer to 50, and who would have thought the Three Bells have gone? We're gonna go this far. I appreciate you guys. I love y'all, and let's have a great weekend.
And for me, once again, thank you to everybody who joined us in tonight. Thank you guys for sticking with us after the technical difficulties that we had to begin the show. Thank y'all so much for staying with us. Lawan, my brother, thank you. Fizzle, I love you. Thank you. Ghostface, hopefully you're a new follower. We do this every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So don't be afraid to join us again. And if you have any comments or anything like that, make sure you send it in the message area. For Boom, my pops, Ray, Drew, everybody, thank y'all so very much. Des Taker is out of the building. This is your boy Mundo, aka Mr. AKA himself. Don't forget to join me and my guys Monday at 11:15, where we will recap Monday Night Raw, and we have CM Punk returning in his hometown of Chicago, Illinois. For that, I'm out of here. Thank y'all. Yeah.
And with that, we say, it's your homie Shane O'Mac saying good fight, good night.
Yeet.
And as always, no yeet.